Second question from the audience. Are you aware, excuse me, are you aware of Governor Dayton's bullying bill, House File 826, and would you support it? Why or why not?
I'll be honest, I'm not intimately aware of it, specifics, but as far as my own personal experience relative to bullying, I feel that any particular thing that we can do to stop that or support have community support of non-bullying issues and having our children be in a safe environment and feeling comfortable, I would be in favor of.
Thank you. Dan, would you like me to repeat the question?
No, that's fine. I think that if there's a bullying bill that comes from the governor of any state, any governor, it's not going to have much effect on the bullying that's really going on within our schools. If we're going to accomplish something with bullying, it has to start right here locally. It has to start beyond that. It has to start in the classroom where it's occurring, or in the halls where it's occurring. Probably most importantly in the homes where it's either allowed to occur or they're not aware that it's occurring. So it's at the local level where those things are most effectively handled. When it comes from the state, so what? The money usually doesn't trail. It becomes one of the mandate things that Steve had alluded to earlier. And the important thing is that we enable those people that are actually working with our kids to do the things that they see will actually work.
Stephen Stayner. Stephen, the question is, are you aware of Governor Dayton's bullying bill, House File 826, and would you support it? Why or why not?
I'm aware of bullying. I'm not that well versed on Governor Dayton's proposition, but I talked to one of the students at the Pine City High School, and I asked her about bullying. She says there's always going to be bullying, and she didn't think there was anything you could really do about it. If we're working with delinquent students, 20 years ago or so, we used to show them a little movie called Scared Straight, and that was taking the students, a little film where they took the students into the jails or prisons and tried to scare them from being leading a life of crime because they were juvenile delinquents. This worked to some extent, but it didn't work as well as they thought it would. And I think the best way to take care of bullying is locally, with local emphasis on students when they're younger, to make sure that they don't become bullies when they're young. Thank you.
Thank you. Alicia Ascheman. Alicia, would you like the question repeated?
No, I'm actually pretty familiar with HF 826. Just to give you an example of what this is going to cost us because it's unfunded. We, as a district, will pay $32.89 per student annually based on a cost analysis that was handed out by the state, and that will cost us, based on our enrollment, about $55,000 a year, coming from a state level. That is a teacher's salary. I don't think it'll have any effect on bullying. The bill is too vague. A child may anonymously report another child for allegedly causing emotional distress to another student for what could be construed as objectively offensive based on what that student perceived about the other, and have their anonymity protected forever. I don't see how that's going to serve the best interests of teachers or students. And I suggest that everybody call their senators. It's in the Senate right now.
Thank you, Alicia. Nathan Johnson.
Well, bullying is definitely an issue in a lot of school districts, and ours is not unique to that. But I am familiar with House File 820, or the Governor Bill 826, and I also have spent some time looking at the bill. And the things that I particularly like about it is that it defines what constitutes bullying in the first place. And I believe that from what I understand of the bill, that it's potentially a good thing. I don't know if I agree with the costs that are associated with it. I would have to spend some more time looking at that myself. But from what I understand about the bill, it appears to be a very good thing.
Scott Nolan. Scott, the question is, are you aware of Governor Dayton's bullying bill, House File 826? And would you support it? Why not?
I have actually read this bill vaguely, and I would say there's too many loopholes in this to get around stuff. And there's always going to be bullying, but it starts from the parents. The parents got to get involved with the teachers and the community to figure out how to stop this and not make it a problem. I believe we're making great steps here with our programs here to try to, eliminate some. I think we're going in the right direction. The money might be there, and I don't understand the financial thing of all of it, but I believe that it might be a good investment for our community.
Mike Cummins. Mike?
Well, since I have no confidence in St. Paul or Washington, D.C. for that matter, I am not familiar with the bill, but I do understand what bullying is and what it means. And, and I believe that, local control, teaching, having our staff understand what it is, how to identify it, and how to deal with it properly is the way to go. I don't believe St. Paul or for that matter, any government entity should be telling us how to deal with this problem.
Steve Odegard. Steve?
Yeah, I cannot support the governor's bill. I feel that we do really need to get it to the lowest common denominator, which is here in our schools. Under the direction and recommendation from the staff and the administrator, Mr. Gilman, we undertook what's called Rachel's Challenge last year. And I really feel that is what's going to really turn this thing around. All the bullying that occurs, everything else. I really do feel that this Rachel's Challenge, and if anybody's around, I think it's Wednesday, I believe, right? Wednesday night. We'll also have an overview of it so that you can be more informed.